Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we have a pro se sovereign citizen with a law degree from Google University who insists on representing himself, and a judge who is not going to have any of that sovereign citizen nonsense in his courtroom. So let's begin.
We're waiting. All right, this is State of Florida versus Stephen Allen Cooper, case number 19 CF 866. Mr. Cooper's before the court today. He represents himself. Mr. Cooper, do you still wish to represent yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. There's been a bunch of motions filed today, but print out the motion that I've denied, most of the pro se, the ones that were filed as of the 12th. Madam Clerk, dismissed, the motion to dismiss defendant's motion to reinstate bond and vacate related bond forfeiture, and notice of speedy trial.
Development resubmitted.
Yeah, and I'm gonna deny them again. All right, where we at? I dismissed the pro se notice of speedy trial demand. But okay, we'll set it for the November. Anything else, Mr. Cooper?
Yes, you dismissed them because of a certificate of service, and they were refiled with a proper certificate of service.
They were just refiled today. I have not had a chance to look at them. So I won't deny them today. I'll just reserve on that, okay? I just have not, they were not in the court file when I looked this morning. They were filed today. So I'm not prepared to order them. I will not dismiss them today, but I will have a chance to look at them, okay?
So I have a right to reinstate bond?
No, I'm not reinstating it right now. And I'm not going to reinstate your bond. You failed to appear. Judge Costello, my understanding that Judge Costello was covering for me, that you appear by Zoom, and you did not come to trial as you were ordered to, so you're not getting back out of jail.
It was not willingly, though.
You're not getting out of jail, Mr. Cooper.
But I have a right to bond.
Denied.
And
all right, well, denied.
I do have a motion that I'd like to submit to you.
You can submit it.
Disqualification of judge.
Okay, submit it.
Who should I hand it to?
To the clerk. We'll set that for the 19th. We'll have a chance to look at the other ones, okay?
Well, that's awkward. First step in representing yourself is know what state you're in, because filing your frivolous paperwork in Newark, New Jersey when your case is in Newark, Ohio is the same thing as doing nothing but with extra steps.
This is State of Florida versus Stephen Allen Cooper, case number 19 CF 866. Mr. Cooper is present in the courtroom. He's representing himself. Mr. Cooper, do you wish to continue to represent yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
And we're set for trial November 3rd. All right. Did you get the order to deny motion for disqualification of judge?
I have not received that.
I'll have that printed out for you. There's some other motions that you filed. Looks like we got them yesterday. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this on the trial docket for that November date. I'm going to set this for October 24 for a trial management and motion day.
I got the bond reinstatement that was previously filed, and then...
Yeah, I'm going to deny that motion for bond. You're based on your failure to appear. I'd already, and for the record, I have had you arrested at least once on a failure to appear, released you again on, allowed you to go back to, I believe, Ocala. On the morning of trial, after you filed a demand for speedy, you failed to appear, and Judge Costello revoked your bond at that time, had a capias, and then we had to, I think the capias was outstanding for a while. So my motion is denied.
I'm prepared to make arguments in regard to that.
Well, I'm not prepared to listen to them. I'm ruling on your motion. Okay? But I can rule on a motion without hearing an argument, and that's what I'm doing today. Anything else?
Any of the other motions?
I'm gonna hear everything on the 24th, because you just filed a bunch yesterday on the 16th. We got them in the court file, so I'll hear everything the 24th. That will conclude today's hearing. Mr. Cooper, we'll see you then. Mr. Cooper, you're here today on your trial management. I believe you're set for trial November 3rd at 8:30. You're representing yourself. Do you wish to have an attorney appointed to represent you, or talk any more about that?
No.
Okay. All right. Where are we at?
I believe it's the motions, and I have my motion to reinstate bond. And
that'll be denied.
All the motions filed on the 14th that you postponed 30 days until this date, and none of them have been responded to.
Filed in reverse, responding to his multiple motions to dismiss, motion for discharge, and the motion to quash the information.
All right.
Actually, a motion to disqualify the judge was filed as well. I believe you got that.
I think I've ruled on that, hadn't I?
I believe you got another one.
All right, I'll get you an order to that next week. We'll leave it on the docket for November 3rd. See you then.
Are you going to give me the traverse? 'Cause I haven't received anything.
Yeah, if you don't have it, the state has this already been filed, so if you want to give it to them, or state or the clerk's office.
I guess he didn't hear you when you said that this was Ohio and not New Jersey. And I think everyone can appreciate a judge who doesn't allow this sovereign citizen to thrive in his courtroom and has no problem telling a crayon eater that they have no idea what they're talking about.
Amos Canzoni, come on up and have a seat if you would. Go ahead and have a seat, sure. There's no contract. You and I have no contract. We resolve it in this way. It's a civil infraction, which means the city has the obligation of going first. Go ahead and have a seat and speak into the, if you're more comfortable standing. No, this isn't the time for questions. This isn't the time for questions. What we do here, this is not, we do it in a certain order. The first thing we do is, as you were cited for 2 infractions, is as I read what the officer said, until there's nothing before me, until we have the officer's statement. Once we have the officer's statement, then you can present whatever argument you want. That's the time you make your argument.
So what is it about today?
Pardon?
What are you planning on doing today?
Well, you're defending yourself against the issuance of 2 infractions.
No, I'm not the defendant.
Well,
Defendant, would you agree with me?
you're whatever you want to call yourself, a defendant, a respondent. You're the person who was issued the citations.
That's the problem. That's not the defendant.
I've read the argument. You're not raising it at the right time. Raise the argument after I've read the officer's statement into the record.
I have actually contested that statement on the return service that you received in the file.
Right.
Statement is not accurate.
If it's not accurate, now is not the time. We don't have the statement yet. I need to read the statement. On January 2nd, 2025, at approximately 1600 hours, while on patrol within the city limits of Yelm in a marked patrol vehicle, when I observed a silver Buick traveling east on Mossman Avenue with Washington registration ACA 8168. The registration showed expired as of 11/24. I conducted a traffic stop using my emergency lights. The driver was identified as Amos Canzoni by his Washington State driver's license. Amos first gave me a random card stating he was an American citizen and did not need a driver's license. Amos attempted to argue his sovereign citizenship and that he did not need a driver's license. Amos was unable to provide me with current proof of insurance and stated he did not have any at this time. Amos was given the opportunity to contact the valid driver, but was unable to do so. I advised Amos that his vehicle would be impounded. Amos was given a criminal citation for driving while license suspended in the 3rd degree, a traffic citation for no insurance, and a copy of the tow firm. Amos was given a courtesy to his residence. The vehicle was impounded from the scene by Wharton Towing. That's what the officer said. Now I'll listen to you.
Claiming that the court's jurisdiction has been divested or that the courts don't even have jurisdiction to begin with isn't one of those things that become true if you say it enough times. He's already ruled on that poorly proposed motion and denied it. Now, a police officer is about to take the stand, and I'm going to cut out all of the technical testimony and leave in just the pertinent parts.
The microphone.
I gave the officer very first once when he approached me, I gave him this, my American State National Credential Card. And this has all the information he needed to look up to find out that I'm not a US citizen and therefore not in his jurisdiction. And therefore, there's no issue about traffic violations because there was no crime involved. And then he refused to look up the information by his own choice. So then he required my driver's license, which I told him I can give it to him, but that does not apply because it's my license, it's not the DOL's, because my name is a copyrighted name, and therefore it's in my possession. But anyway, he then went on to saying about sovereign citizen. That's an oxymoron And I tend to say only morons use that term because a sovereign can never be a citizen. Citizen has an obligation to whatever government or state he's subscribing to. Whereas a sovereign, I'm a foreign sovereign. I mean, I'm foreign to your jurisdiction. I'm here talking to you now as a lawful person. I can talk to you because we're both persons in this environment, but I'm not subject to legal rules and everything. That's up to you. That's you are subject to. I'm not. I tried to tell that to the police officer because for his own protection, I told him, look, I'm not really who you think I am. I'm a driver, I'm not driving a commercial vehicle with interstate commerce. It's the only reason I would have a driver's license. So that's why I gave him the credential card first, so he could correct his mistake. He refused to do so, and they ran me through the mill, and you know what the mill was doing afterwards. So that's all criminal now because I'm a foreign sovereign, and I posted it on my door. I posted it in my file that I have a Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, meaning help that holds me, a man, a lawful person, immune towards the legalese, the legal subscription, which a dual citizen has obligation.
I'm going to continue to laugh at these pro se dumb who insist on representing themselves in court only to not actually do any representing when it comes to trial. By doing this, you are saying to the court that you have no issues with the credibility of the witness or their testimony. But hey, he's his own lawyer, and who am I to question his legal strategy, no matter how inept it is?
I tried to tell you that too in my paperwork as a meeting. And so you don't have a claim. You have to actually prove jurisdiction over me 1 year. The defendant is not me, but defendant, the name, all caps name, is under my private copyright and trademark. So you basically created, not you with you, I mean the federal government created that name. And I'm asking you, do you agree that the name represents a usufruct derivative? It's something you can use to access my assets and create credit therefrom. And then without my consent or knowledge, you can then create monetary incentives for yourself and for the court and everything. But the credit and the asset still belongs to me. So the conundrum I have with you now is, you are the ones who would have to pay the fine on that violation because it doesn't concern me. It concerns a usufruct derivative, which I still don't have any control over, even though it's in my copyright and trademark. That's the whole conundrum I have with the court and with the federal government itself. You trespass on me, you basically transform me into a defendant, all caps in defendant, which I am not, and I have proven that I'm not. And yet you still try to link me to that case with that defendant. And I would claim that the government is responsible to offset all these fines or whatever you want to create under that name and hold me harmless because I have nothing to do with it. So that's in a nutshell the situation. But I would also say you have to prove jurisdiction first before you have a case. And you haven't done that so far. Nobody has rebutted my documents I filed into the court case. That means in your own rules, it's admitted truth because it has not been rebutted. It's fact and truth. And then you would technically have to honor these facts and truth. But by continuing with the charade, you do not. And you do not recognize that you're basically now in criminal contempt of the law because do I have to spell it out? As of January 1st, 2025, poof, this court has disappeared. The municipal government has been liquefied with a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which has been finalized January 1st. And now, basically, you don't even exist anymore. Or if you do exist, you would have to be on Washington, D.C. ground because you're not having any rights to be on land and soil.
No, you're not. You're because not only did you not challenge the witness's testimony, but you didn't even give any yourself. There's almost no way that a lawyer could have done worse for you than you doing nothing at all. So now it's time for the judge to make his ruling and deliver the sentence.
Now, that's something that's in general, that has nothing to do with this court specifically. It's just a general thought. that has been put on the people of this country. Now, I have another document here. I would like to post it. I have it already filed in the docket, but it shows the residents of this country. Residents in all caps named. And we all know a resident is only a temporary living in this country or in the state. There's not a single American in the census of 330 million people. Now, my question to you is, why do you insist on treat us like sovereign citizens, which is an oxymoron, rather than recognize our status? Because in Thurston County, there's maybe 2,000 of us, if it comes to a high number. Everybody else can be treated as a dual US citizens, which gives you all the rights you have, but not against me. So that's your problem now, because I have documented everything in the file. So basically, I made a counterclaim. I nullified your claims, including the fines, including whatever you want to bring up, including the statements of the police officer. They've all been voided out by me responding, return service response. And that also would also be appearance in court, by the way. So he never not appeared in court. I just give you the courtesy. Well, it's basically not a courtesy, it's under duress. I come here to make sure I inform you of the situation you're basically maneuvering yourself into by not recognizing who I am as a foreign sovereign, because I'm outside of your jurisdiction, period. So that's why you don't really have a case. And it would be wise if you would allow the prosecutor to file a notice of dismissal or cancellation of the case, because it won't have any jurisdiction. And I have proven that on the...
What a tyrant. Not because he sentenced him to a mandatory 3 days in jail due to his multiple previous OVI convictions, but because he set it up in a way that he could do his jail time without losing his job. I'm sorry, I didn't mean tyrant. I meant badass. All right, so before we get out of here, the judge had some final harsh words for this soft idiot.
That's fine.
You showed me the paper that you showed. I could not see that from here. Could you see that?
I give it to you here. This is what's not in the document. And then also, in order for me to be protected, we also have a private indemnity bond. In case I would be involved in a crime or in some property damage, that indemnifies me. I don't need a bond like you guys do. I just need an indemnity bond. So that means if something happens that causes a lot of financial problems, that indemnity bond would be able to connect the power. So that's the document. And you can see there's two barcodes on there, or whatever they call it. You can access my documents like the police officer could have easily gone, scan those two barcodes and get into the file. And then all the files are in there accessible, the same ones I put into the court case now. So basically, there was no reason for the officer to do anything else except, oh, excuse me, I made a mistake. Have a good day. That would be his proper response to me as identifying me as a foreign sovereign. And he did not do that, and the court did not do that. And I don't go into details right now, but it has been a lot of hassle against me, who is not even involved in this one. That's the problem I have with you now, that you don't recognize that I'm really not part of this.
Well said, Judge. You know what amazes me is that these anti-government ass clowns could spend just a couple of dollars a year to stay off the government's radar and out of the court system. Instead, they choose to be sovereign citizens, which ultimately puts more money in the government's pockets, and they end up spending more of their lives in government facilities. So, if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike. But don't forget to leave a comment below and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any of my content.